You are listening to the Marc Guzman podcast experience. So we're going to jump right into the show. The very first topic is Zillow is suing Compass Real Estate. Brian, what's your initial take on this? Why is Zillow suing Compass? Can Compass get out of this? I mean, is this even a lawsuit that has any validity to it?
Well, just kind of looking at it from the initial overview of what it talked about, to me it looks like Zillow is really just kind of flexing its muscles. Zillow is more of a technology company. Compass is a real estate company that's kind of priding itself as a technology company for real estate agents to brand tech, and I guess part of what the article discusses is that Compass wooed over employees of Zillow, and they caught these employees emailing specific proprietary software or tech from Zillow to themselves just before they left. And so, again, I'm not a legal expert when it comes to intellectual property, but I'm not exactly sure where all of this lawsuit is going to go, other than Zillow is kind of putting its foot down and trying to, flex its legal muscles just so it's got more money.
For sure, they're trying to get ahead of it, because if they can try to squash it now before anything starts, because like you said, Compass is touting themselves as a tech company. However, we all know they're not a tech company. They're literally a real estate brokerage.
Right. They're a real estate franchise.
Yeah, they might offer technology services to their agents, but that doesn't make you a tech company, right?
Correct. Yeah.
It's just like any other business that offers, software to their employees. So anyway, so you have the stealing of this information, and I see where Zillow is coming from, because if Compass really wants to focus and maybe even pivot their business model and their strategy and really focus on attracting a lot of new leads coming in by building something using Zillow's model. A perfect example of one of Zillow's biggest competitors that is also a real estate brokerage is Redfin. So you have Redfin that has this amazing system that there's a lot of home buyers out there that will either use Zillow or Redfin. And so people will look at Redfin, even though they don't use Redfin as a brokerage, but they still use their entire home search system in order to look to see what's on the market, or even sellers looking to see what their property is worth. So it's very comparable to what Zillow has. So Redfin and Zillow compete.
In fact, a lot of this technology that Zillow is using really is the similar technology that Realtor.com or Trulia uses, where they literally take data from the various MLSs and then generate leads from that and resell that back to the real estate agent. So there's a bit of
it's probably 98% MLS data. So correct, that's the irony about all this, is that the MLSs that have real estate agents and appraisers subscribe and enter the data into the MLS, then
is uploaded
for the most part will give Zillow and all these websites free syndication, and then these websites sell that data and the leads right back to the agents.
Right. And so again, that goes back to the old days when real estate agents had this thing called the MLS book, or the multiple listing book. And the big value add that a real estate agent had was they could tell you what was for sale. And now that's not really what we do so much as we guide the buyer through the legal steps and process and financing. But buyers can go out there and find the data themselves now for property that's for sale. And so it's just kind of an irony that Zillow is suing Compass for doing basically what they do.
What they do to real estate agents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see this really going anywhere. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of settlement. There's maybe not even a settlement. Everyone might just drop it, but I can totally see why Zillow is jumping ahead of this to prevent Compass from becoming a company like Redfin using Zillow's actual intellectual property.
The funny thing though too is most times when companies will do this, it comes down to who's got more disposable capital in a lawsuit, because a lot of times in lawsuits, nobody really wins except for the attorneys. And I think they've kind of taken they're trying to take on a pretty well-funded company, and that's Compass, because if I recall correctly, somebody who had talked to me about Compass, which is a fellow real estate agent, had mentioned that they're backed by some Saudi Arabian
Correct.
prince or something. And so that's some deep pockets there when you've got oil money and you want to get into the real estate business, so you're going out and you're essentially raising capital on Wall Street to go out and buy real estate companies and consolidate all of this under a big tech umbrella.
Yeah, I wonder what percentage of the Compass agents will stop using Zillow and possibly go to a different platform offered by Compass. It'd be interesting to see.
Right. That's a big question, because a lot of times agents are always going after the new bright and shiny toy, or what's the grass is greener on the other side. So the technology, really depends on how well the agents use it. And so, those same agents that are within Compass now probably subscribe to Zillow, at least some of them do, to generate advertising.
Yeah.